Hey friends, it's Tim the Hoosier Forager out gathering acorns today. Wanted to bring you along and show you how to identify a good acorn and a bad acorn and how to gather those, and a little bit of tree ID as well. So come along with me and I will show you how to do that. All right, so I picked up some acorns. You can sort them as you are picking them up, or if you have a bad back like I do, I just kind of use a shovel them into a bag or a bucket, take them home, and then sort them outside while I'm enjoying the weather, or indoors or in the garage or wherever you want to sort them. That way you don't have to keep bending over forever. It can take a while, as this tree has just dropped acorns all over the place. As you can see in the video, they're just covering the ground. So you can basically take as long as you want to gather these acorns, because there are just so many of them here. So what is an acorn? Well, an acorn is a fruit of an oak tree. There are two major groups of oaks. There's a white oak and a red oak. The easiest way to tell the difference between the two is the leaves. So here's some leaves off of this tree. As you can see, the red oaks have pointy lobes on the ends. White oaks have rounded lobes on the end. That's the easiest way to tell the difference between the oaks. Both oaks do produce acorns. The red acorns are a little more bitter, so it takes a little more processing to get that bitter taste out of them than the white oaks, but they do have less water content, so they are a little easier for longer term storage without having to fully process them. So that's kind of what I go with, and as well as whatever I have available. This tree just happens to be here full of acorns, and so I'm just sticking with the red because that's what I have available. So let's go into acorn identification as far as what's good and bad. So here's a good acorn. It should feel kind of heavy in your hand. There should be a disc on the top. That disc should not have any discolorations or blotches or anything on that. And then the body of the acorn itself should not have any type of cracks or holes in them, because you sometimes will see little pinholes. Those are from a grub that's inside the nut that eats its way out. They look like little bitty tiny bee moth if there are any fishermen out there. They're little white grubs, and they will eat their way out of the acorn and then go back into the ground to pupate and infect next year's acorns. So if you see any type of little pinholes in there, you don't want those. You don't want any with cracks where they've been stepped on, or any kind of way that the shell has been broken, such as this one right here. You see that it's been probably stepped on or something like that, and that is no good. So you don't want that, but you want something like this. Another easy way to tell if it's a bad acorn is if the cap is still firmly attached to the nut itself. Those are no good as well as this one's already cracked anyway, so I wouldn't have picked him. But you don't want to use the ones with cracks or caps. Or if you find some that have been nibbled on by a squirrel or a deer, like this one here, he's about half there and half not. So somebody's had a little bit of a snack and left the rest. So you don't want those either. And I do apologize for the noise. I am at a local state park and I'm near the campground entrance, so we've got trucks coming in and out with campers and whatnot. The next one are undersized nuts. You see this little bitty tiny acorn in here. You don't want those either. Those are no good. You want good sized nuts like this. And once you crack them, this is actually what the inside of the nut meat, or the flesh of the nut, looks like after it's been taken out of the hull. It's kind of a light tan color. Looks like a squirrel has had him a little snack here as well and just kind of left the rest behind. I'm not sure why. So those are the ways you can tell a good acorn and a bad acorn. So all you do is just scoop them up, either, like I said, with a shovel and sort them at home, or sort them as you're picking them up. You can look and kind of see which ones are good and bad, and kind of sort them as you go if you want to do that. And then you just take them home, and I put them out on like a piece of screen or mesh, or even a tote lid upside down, and just let them sit out for a day or two in a single layer to help kind of get some moisture out, as well as give some grubs some time to get out. You'll usually find a couple little grubs going around that have come out since you've taken the nuts home. And then once those are dried for a few days, I just kind of put them in a bucket without a lid. Don't put a lid on it, they will mold. And then you can process them later, and as I will show you in later videos, how to take those from this form here, shell them, and process them for flour. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you guys so much for your support. As always, it's so much appreciated. Take some time this week to get out and explore your world.